Sorry for that
Speaking
downer. Pour one out for Jim Varney.
Speaking of Shakespeare, Gus Van Sant did a loose adaptation of Henry IV this month, which was called My Own Private Idaho.
That's what that's about?
Yes.
Really?
But they're it's modern, so they're male gigolos.
Huh.
It's actually, I just watched it for the podcast. It's pretty good. It's actually a little more darkly comedic than you would think, but it's very quirky and bohemian. Tristan, I think, in particular, would like it. For some reason, I thought it was going to be more staid. Don't know why.
As an elephant, probably.
It has that drugstore cowboy kind of feel to it, so maybe that's why I liked it. Also, one of the actors that we featured last month, River Phoenix.
Yeah. It is what pushed Keanu further, right? Because he had Point Break, but then he did this, and it seems like he could...
This was between Excellent Adventure and actually after Bogus Journey.
So it's after the two Bill and Ted movies, but this showed that he could actually do drama, right?
Yeah. Because after this, he would do Much Ado About Nothing, was shortly after this. So actually, that's two Shakespearean plays that he was basically in.
Yeah.
Cannon collaborated with Chuck Norris again for a movie called The Hitman. It's atrocious. He's wearing like a Martin Riggs type mullet throughout the whole movie. The plot to get from A to B takes too many C side ways. It's just, the logic is choppy the whole movie. But I will say the villain, played by Michael Parks, very good. Even if it amounts only to Jodie Foster had her directorial debut with Little Man Tate.
Oh.
Slice of life movie about a child psychologist. It was good at the time. I haven't revisited it anytime soon, so I can't say whether it holds up or not. The underrated gem for the month for me, Other People's Money, which I just saw not too long ago and reviewed for Interjections WordPress, if anybody wants to see my review on there.
I'll put the link in the article, but I don't remember this. I kind of remember you covering it, but...
Yeah. It's based on a play Norman Jewison directed. Dave DeVito plays Larry the Liquidator, who goes into businesses that are on their last legs and scoops them up and turns them over for a profit, usually just kind of liquidates all their assets.
Gotcha.
To make them solvent. And he starts to have a romance with Penelope Ann Miller. And you know what? They actually have really good chemistry. They create some sparks. And the dialogue is sparkling. It's great. They fast-tracked the sequel to House Party. House Party 2 came out. The Pajama Jam.
Yeah.
A very preachy sequel to the first one, oddly enough. And it's also missing one of the main ingredients from the first movie, which was Robin Harris.
What's the preachiness of it?
It's basically about kid trying to maintain his scholarship for college. So they're talking about how important education is, and also how important it is to be representative of the Black race while you're trying to get an education.
That's interesting that it comes out right on the heels of Boys in the Hood. You don't think they could have seen it before making it, right? The turnaround time, probably they were making them around the same time.
Yeah.
So that's
kind of like a John Singleton kind of movie, weirdly enough.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Curly Sue came out this month, which was a charming little movie with John Belushi playing like this homeless man with his daughter, and they get he starts to romance Kelly Preston, and he gets kind of ravished into this life of luxury. Two Evil Eyes, which is a collaboration between Dario Argento and George A. Romero.
Oh.
They take two Edgar Allan Poe stories, The Black Cat, and I forget what the other one is, and they modernize them. Neither one's very good. The George A. Romero one's slightly better, but probably because of the Tom Savini effects. But you could tell this is where the Argento factor just started his inspiration started to go down.
That's too bad.
Ricochet came out this month, which is very sleazy but fun action thriller with John Lithgow as a villain, Denzel Washington as the police officer who puts him away, and then after he escapes from prison, he tries to ruin Denzel Washington's life in these increasingly disreputable ways.
Is he a serial killer to start, or is he?
He's like a bank robber murderer.
Okay, I think I've seen a scene from this where he's on trial. Does he go on trial in this?
Maybe briefly.
Yeah, he's just kind of psychotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard he had a run as a villain in a couple of movies, and he's very good in all of them.
Yeah, this cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Weird to see him as the father in Harry and the Hendersons and Third Rock from the Sun.
He was also a serial killer in Dexter.
Well, sure, years later.
Yeah.
That's why I thought when he comes on Dexter, I'm like, wow, this is a turn for him. Apparently not.
No.
Yeah, no, everybody just got used to him being a funny, happy-go-lucky guy thanks to Third Rock.
Yeah.
From the
Right.
Sun.
That was the turn.
Yeah.
That was the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the opposite of what he normally does.
Dick Solomon.
Large amounts of pep.
Yeah.
Gotta have pep.
Oh God, that's
that single-handedly pretty much plunged John Travolta's career into the depths. Shout came out this month, which nobody knows about, right? Nobody's ever heard of it.
Nope.
This is the movie that before Pulp Fiction happened, this is the movie that stopped his career dead in its tracks. It bombed. It's a musical drama where it's so implausible. He plays a fugitive who comes to this Texas town, this detention center, and teaches the kids music. At one point, he's teaching the piano player how to keep rhythm by clucking like a chicken. It's embarrassing. The movie's embarrassing.
not gonna lie. I from that premise alone, that sounds a little relatable to a small degree.
What?
Oh yeah, no. I had a substitute teacher when I was living in Tennessee. He was covering one of my middle school elective classes. It was like an engineering class. Teacher was out, whatever. He came in and apparently he told us his backstory. Him and his brother were like both meth heads back in Arizona. They got busted, and I'm assuming that they did a bunch of other criminal things. He didn't really get into it, but he was just like, I had a bad past, man. And I think his brother was still in jail, but he found Jesus. So he brought his guitar to class that day and sang about salvation and finding inner peace and Jesus. Hallelujah. And then one of the girls that sit next to me in class did one of these.
Who was this?
My substitute teacher in Tennessee.
But how does this relate to the story? I'm just trying to figure out.
Because what?
John Travolta brought music to inmates in Texas.
I heard.
Okay.
Juvenile delinquents.
I thought you were saying that John Travolta's brother was your substitute teacher.
It's just that's a little bit relatable to me because I was just like, man.
The reason I thought it was weird was because he said he gets a girl to cluck like a chicken, and you're like, oh, that reminds me.
No, I thought it was going to be like your substitute teacher was
I don't know.
Yeah.
Former criminal guy teaching people.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was like your substitute teacher was going to turn out to be John Travolta's brother or something. That's what I thought.
Maybe this is what it was based on.
Yeah.
Maybe these two guys are the guy John Travolta studied.
Maybe.
You never know.
No. This couldn't have been because when did that movie? This movie came out in what? 91. So the substitute teacher that I had was probably in his mid to late 20s or maybe early 30s when I was in middle school. So it was 99, 2000.
Guess not.
He would have had to have been a kid for John Travolta to portray.
Maybe he's one of the kids that learned from John Travolta.
Maybe.
Well, this
Jesus. He was a meth head at 10.
I mean, here's a movie that Tristan can relate to because he was a slumlord. The Super with Joe Pesci.
Yeah. He had a tenement house for a little while.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's a rather amusing little farce. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do like. Maybe it's the Joe Pesci factor puts it over the top for me, but I like Joe Pesci in most everything.
I was curious about it, so I may check it out eventually.
Yeah,
you'll forget.
Homicide came out, which is a David Mamet movie with Joe Mantegna and William H. Macy. Joe Mantegna plays this Jewish cop who is hiding his heritage until he can't anymore because of a murder case. It's pretty didactic. It's not my favorite Mamet. And The Taking of Beverly Hills, which is basically Die Hard with Ken Wall playing a quarterback while these terrorists come into Beverly Hills and say there's a toxic spill so that they can go and loot people's homes. It's so lackluster, it's not even worth talking about. But then we get the Poster Boy, in which Jeff will shine.
Now, you may know this film, so this may quickly be a dud. We're already getting into the territory where you may know stuff, so bear with us.
This is about the time when my hard memories start forming.
Right. So I don't mind if you know this. So if you recognize this immediately, don't worry.
Listen, I'm still gonna. That already happened with one thing, but I'm just gonna. We're gonna play along for the rest of the. Okay.
Do you know this?
All right. I don't know. Let's talk it through. We'll find out.
Oh, maybe he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you did a pretty good job at blurring things out, so maybe like
it seems familiar, but
one of my favorite trailers as a kid.
One of the best lines in movie history is in this.
Is it really? I've never actually seen it.
All right.
Why don't you describe for the people that are listening?
Hold up a second. Let me. Nope. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this because I sank the window a little bit. Fit to window. There we go.
Were you not looking at us when we talked to you?
No, I was, but I normally when you share the screen, it takes up my entire monitor, but I
interesting.
Brought it down a little bit. Okay. So it's a white background with a family looking at this barbarian looking dude holding up a kid on a skateboard with one finger above his head. Beneath them all, part of the title graphic is a black and white little picket fence with a mailbox. And at the bottom, it just simply says, coming soon to a theater near you, with a period. You don't see it too often.
New Line
Cinema presents.
Now,
all right, I'm thinking. Hang on. All right, so we got this weird barbarian-looking dude, clearly out of the realm of wherever he's supposed to be. I want to say this is not My Giant. That's the wrong one.
6 years too early.
But it's Commando. No, it's definitely something with like Schwarzenegger or Van Damme or even Hulk Hogan, possibly at this point. It's oh my god. Not why am I blanking on all these names? Not Conan. Conan the Barbarian. No,
you're
I keep wanting to say Last Action Hero, but not Action Hero.
How dare you?
It's similar. Because there's
funny because that's how I described this to Jimmy. I was like, "This is Last Action Hero with."
Yeah, but I've seen this movie. Like, so you went to go to
the guy.
I know this movie.
Oh.
I'm trying to also figure out who the dad figure is, who's like standing there in a suit with his curly hair. I want to say, oh my god, why am I blanking on names today?
It's one of your favorites.
Dude, Steve Guttenberg. I want to say it's Steve
Guttenberg.
Guttenberg.
Love saying Steve Guttenberg.
It's not Steve Guttenberg.
Picture.
What was that, Corey?
Looks like Eric Idle in that picture. I don't know why.
It does. It's the hair.
Yeah.
I blurred it so you can't tell in any way who it is.
It looks like if they made this 30 years later, it would be John C. Reilly.
I mean, if his hair was a little like wider and longer.
So
You might recognize
This is
him.
the longest.
Conan. All right. Let me try to think of a name here. Well, what do you want me to do? You want to try to guess a name or the synopsis?
Well, give us a name that you would call this, not knowing anything, and then describe a plot you would give this family and whatever that character is, etc.
King Arthur in a kid's court.
4 years too early.
Right?
Yeah.
The Battle of Burger Town. No, it's gonna have something to do with Suburban Commando.
Wow.
That's it.
Wait, what?
That's it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
do you know
shit.
who's in it? Because that's actually what I do next. I believe I unblur.
Okay, I think one of them is Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
And the other one, Albert Brooks.
I'll give you a hint.
Guys, what are you
Einstein.
doing in my front lawn, guys? Come on now.
Anything Einstein?
That's
hint
not
there?
helping.
Okay, how
Walter
about like
Matthau?
something,
I wish it was Walter
something from the
Matthau.
future, or maybe we'll get back to you on that.
Oh my god.
Christopher
I was trying
Lloyd.
to,
Walter
like,
Matthau.
think of
Whoa.
it like someone with a book, like the Master of a Page or something.
Or somebody that has an aluminum
Oh,
car.
I don't know.
He said the name.
Middle.
You already said it.
David Lee
We were
Roth.
talking over him.
Whatever. He's whatever.
Oh,
Listen, I don't know these people.
do you
Who
want to
said the
guess
name?
the
He was
phrase
in a
first?
camp
or
that was in the
should I-
middle
Guess
of nowhere.
the catchphrase.
You've already gotten it, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his reward. He doesn't have to try anymore.
you don't have to try and
Yeah, that's his reward. He doesn't have to try
Here's the phrase.
The kids at school aren't going to bully me anymore. No, that's not it. The Wilcoxes are having some problems around the neighborhood until the ultimate security system landed in their backyard. Love it.
No home should be without one.
No home should be without one. New Line Cinema presents Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall.
Yep.
What?
I know that's Shelley Duvall.
I think it's because I've never seen Christopher Lloyd with like in a suit
Brown hair.
in anything. No, it's just like because I always saw him. I knew him as like, Doc Brown or the dude from Taxi or
Right.
My Favorite Martian.
He's got jeans and a stubble beard, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody did
Shelley
My Favorite
Duvall.
Martian, the same
Shelley
premise.
Duvall, who I thought looked like Christina Applegate a few years later.
She kind of does.
Yeah. Suburban Commando. No home should be without one.
Did you like this, Corey?
No.
Surprise, surprise.
I actually don't really remember. I know I've seen this a lot as a kid, but like I can't remember any like much like details.
Yeah,
There's
remind
like
us
a-
what happens, Corey.
Okay, so it's funny that later he would star in My Favorite Martian because it's almost the same premise.
Oh.
He's an expat extraterrestrial who comes to Earth, gets embedded in family, and then bounty hunters from outer space come to collect them, and they have to defend against them.
Okay.
But there's a great scene. I think it's a meme now, which Christopher Lloyd gets frozen at one point, and then later in the movie, in a real dramatic scene, he's like, "Listen, this is crazy. Don't you understand? I was frozen today." And they just use that line over and over again. But he says it like, "Don't you understand? Like, I was raped today."
Oh, jeez. That is Christopher Lloyd's dramatic flair. He goes a little overboard. So,
I mean,
But yeah, it's awful.
crazy old man.
I don't think Hulk Hogan didn't do any good movies during his movie tenure.
no.
Maybe
This-
Rocky 3.
This trailer was in front of every VHS I owned. Let me
Yeah.
tell you. Like every TMNT
Turtles.
episode I had, in front of Jumanji 4 years later. Like it was in front of everything.
FHE. All those, all those
That must be
games.
what it is. FHE had the rights to this trailer or something. And then, so I was trying to think of what we could do, given that both main actors of these two films we watched were
No longer.
iconoclasts in their own right. Vanilla Ice never did another film. We all know his best film was TMNT 2. Ernest P. Worrell had his own series, and we don't really know that Jim Varney was any better or any worse than Daddy and Them or Daddy versus Them. I forget.
Daddy and Them.
Daddy and Them. So I wasn't going to go with them. There's really no one in Cool as Ice that's more famous than Michael Gross, and we technically already covered him with Tremors, and there's not much else that he did outside of that and Family Ties that I think we would call a favorite. So I think it only leaves us with Eartha Kitt. Can you name an Eartha Kitt movie besides the ones we mentioned that are your favorites?
Yeah, sorry, no, it's Emperor's New Groove. Like we already mentioned it. Like,
look at this.
I like Boomerang.
There's a good one. She actually has a more.
She was
in Holes. I'm gonna call Holes.
There you go.
She was Catwoman in Batman 66.
And she was in Harriet the Spy. So it's a toss up, actually.
I'll take Holes if you take Harriet the Spy.
Harriet the Spy. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I'll say Boomerang.
Okay, cool. And she's in a
I'm
lot.
not changing my mind.
Kids, yeah, you're fine. We knew you were going to go with Emperor's New Groove. So that was actually a lot easier than I thought. Perfect.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Now we have to fight to the death.
No.
It's Halloween.
It is Halloween. So to move away from Halloween, we're going to head into November 91, and we're this close to lining up with 30-year anniversaries. This next film came out on November 1st. So technically we're closer to that release than this next episode will be, because we're gonna release that around Thanksgiving, and we're gonna cover the career of Dustin Hoffman for the first time in a film called Billy Bathgate. So tune in next time, and hope you have a happy Halloween.
Ooh.
Actually, I think it's already over. It's November 5th. I don't know.
Whatever.
Hope you had a happy Halloween.
Allegedly.
So.
Hope you had a good Spooktober. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Tell all your friends.
So you can see us do all this stuff.